Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. We're continuing to read from chapter 13 of Bhagavad Gita as it is. In this chapter, Krishna is giving us a lot of knowledge. He's saying how this body is the field of activities made up of 24 material elements. And then separate from the body, inside the body, there is a soul, individual soul, and there's a super soul. The super soul, he's controller of both the material nature as well as the individual soul. So the individual soul may be the knower of his own body, but the super soul is the knower of all the bodies. And then Krishna goes on to speak of this 20 items of knowledge, out of which the first and foremost is approaching a spiritual master and engaging in devotional service under his instruction and cultivating all these different qualities like humility, tolerance, non-violence. So then going on, let's read on.
Okay. As for detachment from children, wife, and home, it is not meant that one should have no feeling for these. They are natural objects of affection, but when they are not favorable to spiritual progress, then one should not be attached to them. The best process for making the home pleasant is Krishna consciousness. If one is in full Krishna consciousness, he can make his home very happy because this process of Krishna consciousness is very easy. One need only chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Accept the remnants of foodstuffs offered to Krishna, have some discussion on books like Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam, and engage oneself in deity worship. These four things will make one happy. One should train the members of his family in this way. The family members can sit down morning and evening and chant together Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. If one can mold his family life in this way to develop Krishna consciousness, following these four principles, then there is no need to change from family life to renounced life. But if it is not congenial, not favorable for spiritual advancement, then family life should be abandoned. One must sacrifice everything to realize or serve Krishna, just as Arjuna did. Arjun did not want to kill his family members, but when he understood that these family members were impediments to his Krishna realization, he accepted the instruction of Krishna and fought and killed them. In all cases, one should be detached from the happiness and distress of family life, because in this world, one can never be fully happy or fully miserable.
Hmm. So detachment, what is Srila Prabhupada saying about detachment?
Detachment to family
Mm.
and happiness and distress.
Yeah. So,
And we,
once, yes, I'm sorry.
yeah, please continue.
When we hear of the word detachment, that have to be detached, then, we may think, oh, being detached means I need to be rude to them, or I need to be unkind, I can't show affection. It's not that, because showing affection is natural,
Mm.
because y- yeah, staying together, there is going to be a natural affection. In fact, if we try to suppress that feeling of natural affection, then it becomes kind of impersonal, right? Because we are persons, we have emotions, we are going to have affection. But this is saying detachment is different from showing affection. So truly one can be detached. How? That's what Prabhupada is explaining here. Make the home Krishna conscious, keep Krishna in the center. And this way one can truly be detached. Yeah. If the family members are willing to cooperate and take part in Krishna consciousness, practice Krishna consciousness, then that can be done. There's four things Krishna was saying: chant, have prasad, have some discussion, and deity worship.
Mm.
These are the four things Srila Prabhupada is saying: chant, offer food stuff, read Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, and have some deity worship. And so train the family members also, but all everyone may not be willing to take it up. Then Prabhupada is saying, yeah, then sometimes if it's possible for one, he may leave his family life, but it's not possible for everyone to leave family life, right? So then learning the art of living at home, yet being detached from the daily matters, not getting too involved, and focusing more on hearing and chanting. So because sometimes we may confuse or detach means I can't even show affection, I need to be rude. Or, no, it's natural to be affectionate. What do you think?
Yeah, I think it's whatever you said is it's right because in the earlier times, like 2 3 years ago, I used to think that detachment means like you don't have to show your feelings, you don't have to be affectionate. I used to think the same way that you just explained.
Mm.
Mm. So now it's so now I get to know actually what does because slowly, gradually we learn.
It's true.
Yeah.
It's true. Gradually we learn. Okay, it's gone.
Okay. Happiness and distress are concomitant factors of material life. One should learn to tolerate, as advised in Bhagavad Gita. One can never restrict the coming and going of happiness and distress. So one should be detached from the materialistic way of life and be automatically equipoised in both cases. Generally, when we get something desirable, we are very happy, and when we get something undesirable, we are distressed. But if we are actually in the spiritual position, these things will not agitate us. To reach that stage, we have to practice unbreakable devotional service. Devotional service to Krishna without deviation means engaging oneself in the 9 processes of devotional service: chanting, hearing, worshipping, offering respect, etc. As described in the last verse of the 9th chapter, that process should be followed.
So what is in this paragraph you're learning?
Like happiness and distress, we should remain calm in both the situations. We should not,
Yeah.
most of the time, what happens is whenever something is desirable in favor of us, we are very happy. And when it is not, I guess you both were discussing something related to distress in the beginning. I could not,
Yeah.
yeah. So I think in that situation, we should take it being in a state of equilibrium, not
And
focus much on either happiness and not focus much on either distress.
how can we do that? Because we tend to get so carried away, right? So what can we hold on to at that time when the distress is so much?
We can hold on to Krishna,
Yeah.
as He's always with us in our heart,
Mm.
and we can
Yeah.
chant more and more.
Mm. Yeah. That's right. That's right. Chant more and more.
In both the
Basically.
situations, whether like for example, if you get a promotion, you feel like you're on cloud 9. Right? In
Yeah.
that situation also, we should, I think we should introspect within us that, like, since last few years that's what I'm doing. So I actually understood more of myself and also more of people, because our psychology is similar. Obviously we are different in some ways, but still similar in many ways.
Yeah,
Yeah, so this way you even understand yourself, you also understand others better also.
yeah,
Hmm.
yeah, it's true. So
Yeah, so I think
devotional service, mm,
mm,
introspection. Yeah,
yeah, whether in even in happiness also, when you are so much happy, how do, like, I used to, I actually think that why I'm so happy today. If anything happens, something good happens, it just makes my good, it just boosts my mood.
mm,
Yeah, but then I realize that everything is temporary. Nothing stays forever.
that's good. Yeah, to bring a balance in the mind
Yeah.
like that, right?
Yes.
Yeah, very good.
Mm.
So the devotee, he says, okay, I'm getting this happiness. I don't deserve it, but this is an encouragement from Krishna. And so when he's happy, he also worships Krishna because he's saying, oh, well, what I don't deserve this at all, but it's Krishna's encouragement. And when there is suffering coming, he understands, oh, I would have suffered more based on my past karma. But here, Krishna is just giving me a token suffering, very less. And he continues to worship Krishna. And this is how he relates both the situation, happiness and distress, with Krishna.
Mm.
So, and as you said, introspect, yeah, when sufferings come, it's a time to see what is it that I need to learn. Is it that I need to learn something? What is it that I need to change? You know, as you rightly said, and then you can understand more of yourself and others. And
Yes.
same with happiness. Okay, 9 processes of devotional service. You know those?
Um,
What are those?
yeah, maybe I know some. I don't remember all. Chanting,
Mm-hmm.
hearing, all four
Mm-hmm.
are written here.
Okay.
Worshipping, offering respect,
Mm-hmm.
and I guess I remember in Hindi is Nishtha. Then final stage is Prema Bhakti. These are the last stages, I guess.
Yeah, but those are the stages of devotional service. Like what happens when you engage in devotional service, or
Then maybe I.
what's the process? These are the processes. These are like how do you engage in devotional service? So chanting, hearing, that is very important in our stage. Chanting, hearing, remembering. When
Mm.
we hear properly, we can chant properly, we can remember properly. These three are very important in our stage. Of course, worshipping is also important. Then comes offering prayers, worshipping the lotus feet of the Lord, then being a friend to the Lord, being a servant to the Lord, being a friend to the Lord, and surrendering everything to the Lord. These are the 9 processes.
Even the stages are nine, right?
Yeah, stages are
Okay.
also 9. You mean from Shraddha to Prema, right?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, those are 9.
Okay.
And this is 9 processes of devotional service. That's why it's called Nava Anga Bhakti. Nine
Hmm.
processes, 9 ways to engage in devotional service.
Okay.
Okay, let's read on.
Okay. Naturally, when one is adapted to the spiritual way of life, he will not want to mix with materialistic men. That would go against his grain. One may test himself by seeing how far he is inclined to live in a solitary place without unwanted association. Naturally, a devotee has no taste for unnecessary sporting or cinema going or enjoying some social function because he understands that these are simply a waste of time. There are many research scholars and philosophers who study sex life or some other subject. But according to Bhagavad Gita, such research work and philosophical speculation have no value. That is more or less nonsensical. According to Bhagavad Gita, one should make research by philosophical discretion into the nature of the soul. One should make research to understand the self. That is recommended here. I think
So,
the next
what
one
is the
is last.
result? Hmm?
Yeah,
Sorry.
nothing. I was saying, I guess next paragraph is the last one, right?
Oh, is it?
I guess so. Oh, last of no, no, still more. Okay.
You can read this one.
You can
You can
read
read one
these
more. Yeah,
you
Sure.
can read the whole because there is just two more paragraphs. I can see it in the book. I have the book in front of me. So just maybe two more paragraphs. Yeah. Two, three. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So as far as self realization is concerned, it is clearly stated here that bhakti yoga is especially practical. As soon as there is a question of devotion, one must consider the relationship between the supersoul and the individual soul. The individual soul and the supersoul cannot be one, at least not in the bhakti conception, the devotional conception of life. This service of the individual soul to the Supreme Soul is eternal, Nityam, as it is clearly stated. So, bhakti or devotional service is eternal. One should be established in that philosophical conviction. In the Srimad Bhagavatam 1.2.11, this is explained. Vadanti tat tattva vidas tattvam yaj jnanam advayam. Those who are actually knowers of the absolute truth know that the self is realized in three different phases as Brahman, Paramatma, and Bhagwan. Bhagwan is the last word in the realization of the absolute truth. Therefore, one should reach up to that platform of understanding the Supreme Personality of Godhead and thus engage in the devotional service of the Lord. That is the perfection of knowledge. Beginning from practicing humility up to the point of realization of the supreme truth, the absolute personality of Godhead, this process is just like a staircase beginning from the ground floor and going up to the top floor. Now, on this staircase, there are so many people who have reached the first floor, the second, or the third floor, etc. But unless one reaches the top floor, which is the understanding of Krishna, he is at a lower stage of knowledge. If anyone wants to compete with God and at the same time make advancement in spiritual knowledge, he will be frustrated. It is clearly stated that without humility, understanding is not truly possible. To think oneself God is most puffed up, although the living entity is always being kicked by the stringent laws of material nature, he still thinks I am God because of ignorance. The beginning of knowledge, therefore, is amanitva, humility. One should be humble and know that he is subordinate to the Supreme Lord. Due to rebellion against the Supreme Lord, one becomes subordinate to material nature. One must know and be convinced of this truth.
so, okay, right?
Mhm.
So, what happens when one is engaging in devotional service?
Gradually moves away from the materialistic way of life.
Mm, yeah. So, then is it that he goes into seclusion, goes into depression?
No, no.
All
Mm,
right.
uh,
Okay.
he,
It's just unnecessary
unwanted,
things you just, huh?
unwanted association.
Unwanted. Yeah, that's
Yes.
right. So, and what Bhagavad Gita Prabhupada is saying, according to Bhagavad Gita, what research should be done? What is to what
About the
kind of
soul.
research?
The
Yeah,
soul.
that's right. So So then when we speak of devotion, so how many are involved?
How many are involved? Oh,
Mm,
you mean in bhakti? How
yeah,
many?
bhakti. Yeah, in the sense when we
Super strong.
immediately when we say bhakti,
Mm.
so you know, is it that you do bhakti to your own self or what?
Mm, no,
No,
to the Lord,
that's a,
super
yeah, to
soul,
the yeah. So
Krishna.
immediately we say there's a difference then between soul and super soul. That's why we are engaging in bhakti,
Mm.
right? Because there is a difference. There's a lover and there's a beloved, the object of love. We can see even in our any relationship, there's a lover and a beloved, right?
Mm.
One who loves and the one whom he loves. So same with devotee and God. Devotee has devotion and his object of devotion is the Supreme Lord. Yeah. So and this devotional service is eternal, yeah?
Mm.
Eternal.
Mm.
Chanting of Hare Krishna is eternal.
Mm.
One may think, okay, I'm chanting now till I get liberated. After that, finish. Then I don't need to engage in devotional service because I'm going to become God then. No, it's an
Mm.
eternal relationship. So devotional service is also eternal, right?
Mm.
And what about this? Brahman, Paramatma, and Bhagwan?
There are three, these are three different phases of realization.
Mm-hmm.
And Bhagwan is the last stage,
Mm.
and we should reach that platform. Otherwise, we are not into full knowledge and realization.
Yeah. So usually, how does one reach the Brahman stage? Who are the persons who reach the Brahman realization?
Mm.
The
Mostly Brahman,
Gyanis.
yeah, and
Yeah,
impersonalist also, right?
that's yeah,
Yeah.
the Gyanis who are taking the path of Gyan, philosophical research. Then Paramatma realization,
Dhyan yogis,
Dhyan, yeah, the yogi. And Bhagwan,
bhaktas.
yeah, the devotees, bhaktas. That's right. So, one may be in different processes, one may be in the process of Gyan or Dhyan. But one has to come further to the point of bhakti to be able to understand the Lord. Because not everyone may be taking a bhakti directly, right? Different people are coming from different processes. Someone is coming from taking up karma yoga. Somebody is coming gradually from karma yoga, coming up to gyan yoga, understanding, oh, it's why should I do all these rituals for some temporary material happiness? I'm not the body anyways, I'm spirit soul. So one may cultivate that knowledge. Then after cultivating that knowledge, then as one further advances in spiritual life, then one understands, oh well, I am the soul, but there is also a super soul. Yeah. So that comes Paramatma realization. And then as one continues to engage in spiritual practice, then one may understand, oh, so I am the soul, the super soul, and I'm supposed to surrender to the super soul. He's greater than me and let me engage in his service. And so then one may gradually come to a point of bhakti, or one may take up bhakti directly.
Mm. Okay.
And what's the most important quality here Prabhupada is speaking of?
Most important quality here, humility.
Yeah, humility. Humility. So, what is real humility then? Does
Um,
humility mean a certain way of speaking, or to speak of different certain um, words that we speak, or how we walk,
mm,
mm, how we talk?
Humility is like we should be humble in every situation.
So, what is this real humility that we are
And
speaking?
um, real humility is
Nobody's mentioning here.
to not compete to the Lord and
Yeah.
yeah, compete with the Lord. Yeah, to not to compete with the Lord. Yeah.
Mm. To understand that I am subordinate to the Lord. I'm not God. God is much greater than me. So when one understands I'm a servant of God, that is real humility.
Mm,
Because sometimes we misunderstand humility means I need to act um, like speak certain words, or you know what I mean? The superficial things we may think that's humble. But actually it is where's our consciousness? Understanding I'm a servant of God, that is real humility.
mm,
Is that okay?
yes.
Did you want to add anything? Anyone? No?
Yeah, based on like we just read about like the result of this is you gradually goes like start to move away from the materialistic way of life, like unwanted association.
Mm-hmm.
So this is like what I'm observing, since last few months
Mm-hmm.
with myself.
Mm.
Mm. So earlier I used to be, whenever I used to sit idle, I used to get anxious, right? Like I want to meet somebody, I need to talk, something like that. But since I've started chanting, I actually don't even get time, and I even when I'm alone, I spend that time kind of quality time with myself only.
Mm.
Yeah, so I don't feel I'm chanting. And nowadays, like since last few days, I'm also offering food to Krishna once in a day.
Very
So
good.
that is actually, I have never felt so much at peace while doing these things. Even when we are engaged in materialistic things, even at that time also, I have not felt this much at peace.
Yeah,
Yeah.
wonderful. Wonderful. Because now you're associating more with Krishna, no?
Yes.
Very good. So this is what we experience.
Mm,
You are experiencing the peace
yeah.
because you're engaging in the process.
Yes. And I used to, I used to travel a lot. I cannot sit at, one place. I used to can so that used to be my nature. So nowadays I can just sit in one room. I don't know. And
Yeah.
also I engage with, like it was mentioned, unwanted association. The people who just discuss rubbish, that's it. I actually start to get bored. at that time, when I know there is nothing in for me and Krishna. So I don't actually enjoy that kind of conversation.
Good.
Actually,
Yeah,
this I have been observing this since I have started chanting
very nice.
from September or October last year.
Okay.
Mm.
And are you happy with what's happening?
Yes, yes, so many realizations actually. It feels, and also it goes. I guess we also started reading from August or September only, and it also goes to we read Bhagavad Gita every day.
Yeah,
So chanting plus this reading. So I think these two are the most important things right now, which are which are helping me to advance in spiritual life.
very good. Very good.
Yeah.
So please continue with it. As they say, right? The taste of the pudding is in eating it. So
Mm,
kindly continue with it.
yes. That's why when I I know that every day at 8 I have one thing, reading Bhagavad Gita. That is always in my mind. I don't want to miss it. I try my best not to miss this class, because just that half an hour, I know how much it's gonna add to my spiritual life and being Krishna consciousness. So I just don't want to miss this time, 8 to 8:30. Doesn't matter
Very good.
whatever happens.
Very good. Yeah, very good. Very good.
Yeah, thanks to you.
Oh, oh
Mm,
no. It's the mercy of Srila Prabhupada. Okay,
yeah. Mm,
let's stop here. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.